Hi, I'm Sandy Genovese and welcome to this episode of the Ellison Education video series. Well, we're going to talk about flip charts, and they're fun because their construction allows you to conceal information and it's not revealed until the card or the page is actually flipped. If you look at the table, I have some examples, and here is one that I made quite some time ago that is being used to reinforce color and shape. So if you look at it, it's set up right now so that there's a butterfly, an apple. I've used the Ellison machine to cut them out. If I'm wanting, in this case, maybe I want everything yellow. So what would I have to flip in order for all of the yellow to line up? It would look like this. And then maybe if I said, well, right here, I'm going to align all of the apple shapes. You can see how quickly and easily you could create something like this with the different dies. Another example, here is one, and I'll lean it a little so that hopefully the lamination is not a problem. But you can see that by flipping through the pages, I'll go ahead and set this down, I have the beginning consonant, and as it changes, it helps the students to realize when they're reading the vowel blend at the end and how that is going to coordinate with the beginning consonant that's at the beginning. This is a language arts example. If you look right below, in the study of place value, everything from ones all the way over to millions can be created by just creating stacks of the different numbers that are in this flip chart. And then if you look down below that, you can see when teaching time how helpful it is to create a flip chart that helps you to flip through the numbers and then the minutes and help the children to understand when they're learning how to tell time. Now, I was using flip charts so much that it seemed we should have a die that would create it. So here's the flip chart. It's called the Flashcard Flipper, and I'm going to cut 5 out at one time. So I actually might have more than 5. This feels pretty thick, but I'm going to go ahead and place it. Because I'm cutting it in the Big Shot Pro, that means I have the rubber side of the die facing up with the paper on top, and then I'm going to put the cutting pad over the top, and then I'm going to just roll it through. This way I can cut one so that if I wanted each student to make their own, this would be a quick way to generate the first 5, and then I would do that, let's say 6 more times if you have a class of 30. When you look at it here, I'll place it down on the table, you'll see that the perforations are even there. In fact, I'll turn it, this is how I would actually use it as a flip chart, so that when you flip and fold on these perforated lines, you can see how this is going to become a really cool flip chart. And this particular flip chart ends up being red, and of course because I've used all these other colors, you would have flip charts for all the kids in all the different colors that you want. Now let me show you examples of how I turn these into educational aids as well. Here, this first example, I'm actually showing it as a way to learn or to study a book report. So in this case, the book Tops and Bottoms, under this first section is where it lists the characters, and I've used the dies embellished just to help to reinforce it. Here are some facts from the story, and then the plot from the story is listed behind, and in the final example, opinions. This is an example that would be language arts based. If you look at an example that would be more science related, here is the study. There's an area that's an estuary close to me, and a lot of the schools take kids to field trips there. And notice as I flip these pages that I've used notebook paper for some of the inside pages where they're going to actually be writing and taking their notes. Now if you look at the die itself, or the decoration on the cover, don't be put off by thinking that it's really difficult. In this example, I just cut the frog out of 2 shades of green. I went ahead where the eyeball was part of the die, and I placed red in between the 2 layers so that it looks like his eyeball is red. And then I took a hole punch in 2 different sizes, and I just punched all over on the light one, the light green on top, laid it back down over the dark green, and you get that fun texture. You know, the detail can be as simple or as complex as you want. It really is up to you. And no matter whether you create your flip chart from scratch or whether you use the die to create it, your students are sure to flip over them.